Welcome back. Now, the South African National Civic Organization is calling for unity within its ranks. This follows the uproar over the weekend around the election of former President Jacob Zuma as its KZN chairperson. On Saturday, Sanco Provincial Secretary Sizwe Cele said the structure that elected Zuma is not recognized. He says there are a group of disgruntled members still using the name. So how will the organization resolve this? We're joined now by Richard Mdakane. He is the Sanco president. Mr. Mdakane, thank you very much for your time. I have to ask you the silly question. Which Sanco do you belong to? The real one or the one that is allegedly fake?
No, there's one Sanco. I'm not sure there's a real one or not, but there's one Sanco. Of course, there are problems of division in Sanco. And then we are dealing with these problems, and I think we are going to solve them as time goes on.
What are these problems? And, you know, if you could just answer us, first of all, as the president of Sanco, the former president, Jacob Zuma, is he the chairperson of Sanco in KZN?
There was a conference in KZN that elected Comrade Jacob Zuma as the chairperson of the province.
All right.
We were not informed about the conference per se, but the provinces anyway depend on themselves how they organize their own conferences. They only invited the national leadership to come to run and oversee the running of the conferences. There were people who were part of the NEC who attended a conference in KZN, and then I guess then they were able then to have a discussion with the provincial leadership. Of course, even in KZN, there are two structures that are not united at the moment, but they are working very hard to unite the organization.
So explain to me what Mr. Cele said, coming out to say as the provincial secretary, allegedly, that these elections were not true. So if there is Congress or conference, I understand that the top structures would change, including his position, which is the provincial secretary. So is he still secretary? Do you know about him? What did he mean? Because he seems to be saying that is a disgruntled group that held a conference without the real Sanco knowing.
Well, I guess that another group also would call him a disgruntled or a bogus group. Precisely because he belonged to another group, and the people who organize the conference also belong to the other group. It is something that we are dealing with it because it's a very serious problem for the unit of the organization. But we are aware that Comrade Jacob Zuma was elected, and our intention at the national level is to meet with Comrade Zuma and have a discussion about the role that he could play, first in uniting the organization, but also as a resident at eNCA, in mobilizing the society to raise issues that concerns the bread and butter issues.
So as the president, if you are confirming the former president of the ANC, Jacob Zuma's election as, you know, a part of Sanco, the new leadership of Sanco in KZN, you're basically saying that Sizwe Cele is no longer the provincial secretary then, because that position would then be taken by somebody else who was elected with the former president, right?
No, I never heard of him anyway being elected as secretary of Sanco in KZN. And then I wouldn't really comment whether he's a secretary or not a secretary. Sometimes nowadays there are a lot of consultants who can claim to be secretary and president of organization without any conference electing them. And I think it's a bigger problem that we are facing. But we are dealing with it. We are very confident that we are going to deal with this matter of KZN. As I'm saying that we are going to meet with the president of the former president of the ANC and the former head of state and have a discussion with him which role he could play constructively to assist us to build a unit of purpose of organization.
This obviously will remind a lot of us of an organization such as COPE and the infighting that they've had with apparent splinter groups, etc. What caused the factionalism, if I could call it that, in Sanco? The problems that you keep referring to in this interview.
Well, the main cause of our problems is a team that is arguing that Sanco should stand for state power. It simply means that the Sanco should become a political party. And then another view that has been expressed that Sanco can never be a political party. Because if Sanco becomes a political party, it will stop to exist as a mass-based democratic civic organization. These are two views that are within Sanco that has caused. That's why, anyway, we ended up with eSanco, led by Dr. Luyeng at a certain point in time. It's precisely because of this issue that people are raising. But also we invited them that those who want Sanco to stand as a political party, they must present a discussion document that will assist us to have a thorough discussion, because this matter is a policy matter, can't be changed by anyone willy-nilly. They have not presented anything really for discussion in the NEC around whether Sanco becomes a political party or not. And then we are very open for discussion, but we don't want anyone to come and try to hijack the organization for nefarious aims. We don't think that will succeed. We are waiting for them to present a discussion document. I hope that they are busy drafting it. Once they've presented that in the NEC, we'll discuss the matter, then we'll take a decision to the National Conference in December. The National Conference then will look at this matter, and then we agree or disagree. But some of us will hold a view that the civic movement must remain a civic movement, should never become a political party, because then it will force members of other parties who are members of Sanco to decide whether they belong to Sanco or they belong to a political party. Sanco was designed from the beginning to be a mass-based democratic organization, not a membership-based organization.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mdakane, for your time. Hopefully, we don't hear in the news that there's someone also coming out to dispute your position as president of Sanco. Thank you very much for speaking to us. That was Richard Mdakane. He is the president of Sanco.